You are either in the secret courts or in a secret place. If you try not to belong to any of these parts mentioned, then it is more even dangerous, because it's either you are using something or the world will conspire to use something against you. You see, it's heart-touching when you find out that our leaders, especially African leaders generally, don't really pay attention to what is happening to the masses. The most dangerous thing you will not want to do to yourself is walking through life unguided, walking through life without knowledge, walking through life without knowing what you want. Definitely you are vulnerable, and people will use you as a tool to achieving their own aim. You should realize that there are certain things that people know that you don't know. There are certain things that your leaders who are ruling you know that you don't know. There are certain things that even those who are doing it right to create wealth for themselves, people like Dangote, are doing that you don't know. The truth of the matter is that even if that thing is spiritual, the truth is you don't know it. You are either in the secret courts or in a secret place. If you try not to belong to any of these parts mentioned, then it is more even dangerous, because it's either you are using something or the world will conspire to use something against you. Once again, my name is A. Kabir. This is one of the most interesting quotes I've ever had. I've always had Dr. Olumide Emmanuel sell this time without number. I keep wondering, what does it mean? Just like you might be wondering right now. Okay, so I've been learning so much about the quotes. I've tried so much to understand what is the meaning of that quote, and each time he said, is that you are in the secret courts or in a secret place. What is the meaning? So I never got the time to meet him. I never got the opportunity to meet him, but then I studied so hard to try to understand what it means. And today on this live session, I'm going to be revealing some things I found out about this particular quote and how it's helping me. Just like we've always done, we always reveal some of this secret to you so that you can always use it to your advantage. Because for what I know, those that are in the secret court have a secret. Those that are in the secret place also have a secret they are using. Now, if you are outside any of these two, then that's more dangerous. It's just like you are walking through the desert with your eyes closed, and that's really, really dangerous, because a lot of things will happen. You might end up losing your life. So if you don't want to lose your life today, if you don't want to lose your time, if you don't want to lose whatever it is that is valuable to you, you might consider listening to us till the end of this video, especially so that you get it clear what it means by it's either you belong to the secret court or you belong to a secret place. You must have to belong to one place. So let's begin. Already we've begun with the quotes. Of course, I have another wonderful quote to support this topic today, and I've tried to sample out about few books of psychology, and also particularly if you look at the book what do we call it, 48 Laws of Power. I think it's one of the books that try as much as possible to answer these quotes in a lot of ways that bring clarity. By the way, if you've not read that book, I think you should read it, because at times, you know, in the past, I began to read the book and I felt like most of the things said within the book doesn't make sense to me. It's like inhuman, you know, it's the ideas is not too good, it's not too healthy, you know. I thought earlier before today, but I came back again and I began to analyze the book. I began to understand some certain things that, look, like I said earlier, I see that you belong to the secret courts or you belong to the what? Secret place. Now, what is the meaning of secret courts? I'm not into secret courts, but to a large extent I can understand that it's full of evils, and most of the things happening there is not what you might want to do, right? So I don't want to deliberate more on that, but anything secret court, you might want to take yourself outside it. You might want to take yourself away from it. By the way, there's a lot of way that I look at some certain level of things, some certain behavior from people, and they might not necessarily clarify themselves as a secret court, but I also look at it that, look, whatever that is happening in a secret court, you are already doing it. Because there are certain lifestyle that some people have, some organizations, some group of people, there are certain behaviors on how they impact the nature, on how they affect the humanity, that looks more or less like a secret court. right? Because they cause a lot of damage and harm to humanity. So I will not deliberate much on that. If you want to learn about it, please go to where and those people that might have access to teach you, and then probably you begin from there. But I am telling you that it's not something that you might want to learn. Then what interests us from this our discussion today, and what really pushed me to want to learn what Dr. Olumide Emmanuel always say when he said, is that you are in a secret court or you are in a secret place. Now this really might not explain his perception, but personally, like I said, I'm a student of knowledge, and I always try to dig to know whatever I've had. I always question my knowledge. Whatever anybody is discussing to me, especially as at this time, I've changed my perception. I had to question why you say what you say, and what does it mean to me, and how can I apply it to getting results that are positive to my life. So I found out that if you are in a secret place, it means you know what you are doing. It means if anybody that is in a secret court want to use your head, you can actually detect and also know the right thing to do. It means you are knowledgeable. It means you are in control of your life. It means you are in charge of yourself. I don't know if you understand. So if you are in a secret place, you know the rules, and you know when somebody is trying to use some certain skills against you. So quickly you will adjust, and you'll be able to beat the person down. Even if it means moving away from that person or avoiding such people, then it means you are knowledgeable enough to be able to understand your stand. See, let me tell you, if you are listening to me right now today, you should understand that it is actually abnormal for you to try to walk through life without understanding some certain principles and how things work. I don't know if you understand. Now, in most cases, some things that you might know how it works, you don't necessarily might need the knowledge. You don't necessarily need the knowledge because of it is evil, but because you understand how this thing works, now they will not use it to run straight on you. I don't know if you understand. So that's the essence of being in a secret place, understanding yourself, having your self-awareness, knowing what you want, and know exactly when somebody is trying to play you. One of the examples I want to use is that today you found out that, you see, it's heart touching when you found out that our leaders, especially African leaders generally, don't really pay attention to what is happening to the masses. I don't know if you get. So they are just too engulfed in that politics thing and just their personal lifestyle and just financing themselves and then doing whatever that please them. But they are not really concerned about the people whose reason they were there in the first place. Now they do some certain things that are okay with them. Do you understand? Now if you come to the other party, who are the followers now a lot of us follow blindly. Like we are walking through this journey of life, we are walking through voting some leaders blindly based on the information they give to us and based on how much they were able to deceive us into doing what they want us to do, and they take the credits, go back again and rule you for some days or for some years, and come back again later to still come and do some little assignment on your head, because you have been walking through life without knowing what you want and where you are going. So that's why you are vulnerable. Now you neither belong to the secret courts nor the secret place, that is, you don't really know what you want, and then you are vulnerable, and then people can now use you to their own advantage, either for even evil. It will shock you if I tell you that people that are evil are actually even using you to attain their level of that evil, and you are it's actually really somehow mind is confusing when you don't understand some of these principles. I don't know if you get, but whatever it is, what we are encouraging you to do on this session today is to make sure that you are as much as possible in charge of your life. And I believe that in a lot of ways, circumstances will happen, events will happen, but then if you are in charge of your life and you know what you want, then there's every possibility that people will not even be able to play you and then use you as a tool to achieve either even positive or negative, their own aim and target, meaning that you can set targets for yourself and walk through life to achieve it. The most dangerous thing you will not want to do to yourself is walking through life unguided, walking through life without knowledge, walking through life without knowing what you want. Definitely you are vulnerable, and people will use you as a tool to achieving their own aim. Thank you for joining, Mr. Idris. We are back today again. Best wishes all the moment. Thank you so much, and we appreciate you joining us always. Thank you. Now, I want to begin with one of the quotes I have here. I was going through, like I told you earlier, this book written by Robert Greene. That's the 48 Laws of Power, and I came across a quote inside this particular book written by one Fredericks. I can't remember the second name. So the man says something that made me to really calm down and try to understand what's happening in the world, especially with power and with leaders, and how it affects the masses who claim innocence but in most cases contribute to what is happening, and then later even resort to complaining, playing the game of weakness and all of that. I don't know if you get. So most of these things happen through life, and people keep thinking, do you know, like earlier before I started this session, there's something I was asking myself. Why is it that life keep getting difficult and difficult every time? Why is it that there are much number of evil people compared to the good ones? I ask myself, like, why is it that some people understand how to even do the evil much more than the other people? Why is it that some people are so good at manipulating others and they succeed at it? Why is it that others are manipulated while they might not even be aware? They might even be clapping for those that are manipulating them. Why? I ask these questions. Why is it that some people have so much money in their name? Why some people cry to eat 1 square meal a day? You know, it will beat your imagination. Like, okay, for example, it is clear that people like Dangote, for example, they have, I think Dangote, to his name, has a net worth of over, is it $13 billion? His net worth is over $13 billion. Maybe it doesn't occur to you very well what that money means. Maybe you are just hearing it, right? Okay, let me try to give you some hint, a little bit about it. I'm just sampling him as an example. Please, I'm not saying he's into anything, but then I'm trying to bring my point to home, like trying to understand why some people have this and why some people can't just get it. To a lot of ways, we are going to try to support some of this conversation with some points so that it will ring to your head that you need to belong to somewhere. Because like I said earlier, it's either you are using something or others will use things against you, and the unfortunate thing is that you might not even know. You might think they are helping you. So that's the importance of learning. His net worth 13.9 or so billion dollars. If you are not familiar with dollar, if you have up to, let me start by saying, okay, for example, $1 million, he has about 13.9 at this point. As at the point of making this video, I think the last time I checked, that's what I saw. So let me start with $1 billion. As at this time, let me assume that $1 to naira is 1,600. 1,600 naira makes $1. Now, if you want to get how much is $1 million, $1 million, you have to multiply 1 million times 1,600, which will give you about roughly 1.6 billion naira. I'm talking about $1 million. I've not spoken about $1 billion. He's worth over $13.9 billion. It is when you have 1,000 million dollar that makes $1 billion. I don't know if you understand. This is when you have 1,000 million that makes $1 billion. Now we remove $1 million out of this 1,000 million that makes 1 billion. That Dangote is worth over 13 point something billion. Follow me gradually. Then if we remove 1 million out of that 1,000 billion that makes, out of 1,000 million that makes 1 billion, then let's break it down. Let's multiply 1,000. Let's multiply $1 million times 1,600 will give you about 1.6 billion naira. What is a million naira? What is a million naira? You already know. When you join 500,000 times 2, when you have times 10 of 100,000, it makes 1 million, right? Now you need to join 1 million times how many? 1,000 before you get 1 billion. 1.6 billion is one. I don't know if you get the calculation. Break the money down. It's so much money. The money is so huge. But that's Dangote, the richest man in Africa. Now shift, go to places like the richest man in the world, Elon Musk. He has over 240 something billion dollars. Come to Mark Zuckerberg, come to Jeff Bezos. Those ones have roughly 200 billion dollars. Now what I'm telling you is that some of the questions I ask myself, why is it that some people have so much of this to themselves? Why some people cannot have even what to eat today? Yes, I know that this question might be answered in different perspectives, and some people will come with their religious mindset. Some people, and again, you know, let's try to look at this critically. Some people do not even, most of these persons now that have such money, we not even, they don't know God. Some of them, they don't believe in the existence of God. They don't believe in your religion that you believe in, because for people again that believe in religion, they will be saying that it is God that give people like Dangote. You know, for example, Dangote is a Muslim, and it's easier for some Muslims to say that it is God that give Dangote such amount of money. It's easier for you to say that. Now we have some other people that multiply times 10 or even more of what Dangote have. They are not even believers in God. I know you still have defense for this, but whatever it is, what I like to tell you today is that drop all those explanations you have for all of these things. Do you think that there is not something those people are doing additionally that you might not be doing or you don't know? That's where I'm taking you to today with all of this explanation, with all of the secret codes, secret places and whatever, or you are just walking through life. You should realize that there are certain things that people know that you don't know. There are certain things that your leaders who are ruling you know that you don't know. There are certain things that even those who are doing it right to create wealth for themselves, people like Dangote, are doing that you don't know. And the truth of the matter is that even if that thing is spiritual, the truth is you don't know it. And I want to tell you today that if you know that thing and you do it just the way they are doing it, do you know that you stand the high probability and the chances of getting the same results they are getting? Maybe I should tell you this again. You see, if you are following my session, try as much as possible to be logical. There's so much information that you already have within you since you've been giving birth to that probably have kept you down, that have kept you where you are today, and that have not been helping you. Like Albert Einstein said, he said, the definition of insanity, to show that you are insane or somebody is insane, is to continuously practice the same thing over and over and over and over again while he's expecting a different result. Wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are probably have been doing that for the next 3, 5, 10 years of your life. Now, what are the results that you've been getting out of it? Those things that you've been doing over the years, just look at it critically. What are the results that you usually have at the end of every year? You need to analyze this critically. These are some of the things that people like Dangote, people like your leaders know. Do you know that your leaders, they have studied you. They have studied you psychologically, and they understand that each time they come, that you should vote them with some certain lifestyle, they are going to win you. And then they have mastered that act so much more that they use that against you. Do you know that you can even be better than that leader that you've been electing over the years, if only you know what he knows? Now, do you want to become a leader, or you just want to remain where you are? Again, another question. Do you want to belong to a secret court or the secret place, or nowhere at all? Do you want to belong to the party of complainants, where you sit back? By the way, I've written down some things here, and they said people that don't want to get involved in life. Like I told you, I try to study, I try to understand why are things happening the way they are happening. Why are people behaving the way they are behaving? Why is our naira crashing against dollar? Why? What is the reason behind these things? Because there are forces that you don't know. And as much as you remain ignorance, then you don't know it. Then you are going to belong to this party that I want to count to you now. Number one is, if you don't want to involve yourself, then you start displaying weakness, for your lack of involvement, as a kind of moral virtue. Like, for you not to get involved in politics, for you not to try to get money. Some people think money is evil. They will look at successful people like Dangote, like they are just evil, all of them. Money is the root of all evil. It's so, because you are wired. That's why I said most of the things I'm saying might not even make any sense to you. They are strange. Yes, because you already been brainwashed, and you have this inbuilt barrier that are stopping you from really seeing beyond your eyes. Because do you know that if you want to use ordinary eyes to see in life, there's limit to what you can see. Now, when you begin to use your imagination, your subconscious mind that God has bestowed everyone with, that's the amazing thing. Those leaders, the tactics they are using, the information they are using, do you know you also have access to it? Those successful people, either even you are in secret court or secret places, wherever you want to belong, do you know that every information those people have access to, you self can have access to it if you so wish? Now, but what you like to do is to stay back and play this kind of, you are just morally is wrong. I can't be a leader. I don't want to be a leader. I cannot involve myself in such thing. That's your weakness. You are not learning. Do you understand? Now, the second thing is, such people demand equality in every aspect of life, in every area of life. They believe that both those who are leaders and those who are not leaders should be the same. Everybody should be the same. Those who are knowledgeable, and even people like Dangote, in fact, they find that they told themselves that rich people don't have the right to be richer than them. But you don't know what they know. You are not doing what they are doing. You don't belong anywhere. You just walk through life and you allow life to happen to you. You don't happen to life. You are in charge of your life, but you allow your life to be in charge of you. Are you following? Now, such people will demand that there should be equality in every aspect of life. Everybody should be equal because we are all human. No. Those people know some things you don't know. They are playing some tricks you don't know. It's either you learn it so that they don't play you down, or you learn it and play it when it's right. I don't know if you get. Now, there's another thing we call moral superiority. Like, they make themselves feel like whatever they are doing is moral. They preach moral. Everybody should be right. The leaders are wrong. Let me tell you the irony. Do you know that the leaders are also looking at you like you are not right? Yes, because you are not right. When they come with you with spaghetti and little money, 1,000, 5,000, you just take it, and then you see you are not right too, by the way. Now them are playing you, you two are playing them. Everybody is a player in this game of life. The thing is, it's either you are in a secret court or you are in a secret place. You just have to belong. If you claim innocent and belong to some of these places I mentioned, then you will pay dearly with your life. There is a strong quote I want to read to you. Maybe we don't have time to read it today because I don't want to exceed the time. 30 minutes is what I've promised to always spend. Sometimes I spend beyond, sometimes less, but I don't want to always exceed it. But see, the truth is, some of us, like the next step I have here, we claim that we are naive and innocent. This life, I don't want anything, I don't want any problem. you don't want problem, but problem is just after you. It's either you learn how to chase this problem away or solve the problem. For problem must follow you. Some people say, you just talk about money always. I'm not interested in so much money. But you need money for good life. Even if it's religion you've decided to do in life, you need money to be able to practice it well. How do you pray when you are hungry? How do you your attention is not even with God. And that's why sometimes I argue when people say money doesn't bring happiness. It brings so much joy and happiness. By the way, if they give you a little amount of money, your money drop in your account, now you will understand. If not that you want to be hypocrite, you understand that money brings so much joy and happiness to life. Because sometimes what money does is help you relieve those challenges and problems that usually will trouble your mind, that will take peace away from your heart. So how do you now argue the fact that money does not bring happiness? I know we have some few people that have money but they are not happy, but I tell you that money already have solved if not more than 90% of their problem. I don't know if you get. So you must learn. Staying innocent, not understanding the game will not help you. You might need to do something else. Do you understand? So in essence, I will stop here. That powerful quote, actually by Frederick, I have it here, but I don't want to read it today again. Probably we'll continue because I believe whatever I want to discuss today, I've exhausted it. And for me to start reading that quote now will elongate and take much of our time. But if there's nothing you have learned out of this session today, learn to be in charge of your life. And how do you do that easily is empower yourself in terms of knowledge. And one of the best knowledge I've ever seen is when you are taking the direction of self-learning. Like, just like I told you, I keep on seeing this quote each time Dr. Olumide Emmanuel came to speak. He will tell you that it's either you are in a secret court or you are in a secret place. It's either you are using something or people are using something against you. Don't you see it? When your leaders come, they have information you don't have. They have some powers you don't have. But nobody deny you can also have. When rich people, when you see them, they have money you don't have, but you can also have. Because they have information, certain information that led them to have that money, which you too can also strive to have. You can start picking books to read. Start going to seminars. Start getting close to those who you believe in, who will help you reveal some certain information you don't know, who will help you understand yourself, have self-awareness, know what you are capable of doing, and then start doing it. Take action. Do you understand? What I believe is, if you believe in yourself and you know what you are supposed to do, and this belief, you so much have desire for it, and you keep on pushing for what exactly you are expected to do, with time you start seeing results. This is just the principle. So you need to belong to where I want you to belong to, if you want to belong to the same place, which I call, you need to belong to place. You know, if you are not in secret courts, you need to be in a secret place. You need to belong to that secret place where you understand how things work and why they are working the way they are working. Do you know, as much as possible, I go down to learning why some customers behave the way they behave. Pricing, why do they react some ways when you say some certain things, and why are you able to convince them in some certain ways when you say some certain things? When, for example, let me give you a simple example. When they create urgency in sales, like, please quickly pay now, otherwise in the next 2-3 hours the price will change, and then people react, people quickly pay their money, people don't want to lose. And you know, sometimes these things are fake. How is that psychology working on people's brain? And until tomorrow, like I'm talking to you right now, that still work. And why does it work like that? Ask yourself. You probably don't have this knowledge. Probably people have played you time without number, telling you the price will soon change. We only have 10 pieces in stock. We only have this. Is a lie. In most cases, it's not true. But they already study human, and they already understand that once you tell them we have limited quantity. Once they create that sense of urgency, you need to pay before so time, otherwise the price will change, then you can even go as far as borrowing money to come and buy. Why are things happening that way? So when you begin to study these things, begin to understand how human beings work. And for example, if I want to buy something now, somebody want to use that trick for me, I already know where it's going. You see, because I belong to the secret place. You can choose wherever you want to belong, but just know that the best is belong to the student of knowledge. Be someone who is, don't just be a follower. Don't just follow people doing things because they want you to do it. Do things because you are learned and you know why. Question what you've been taught. And when people follow others blindly, that's where the mistake is coming from. That's where you are not getting the result you want. We're going to stop here. If you learn from this session, please help us to like, follow, share, subscribe, and then also encourage others to learn. Keep following, and see you some other time tomorrow. Bye bye for now.